book lovers, Victoria here, and you're watching My Books and Me, and today I'm bringing you my October book haul. I've got a lot of books. Well, yeah, I've got a lot of books, but it's not going to take too long, hopefully. So let's just dive right in. So firstly, let's start with the biggest chunk of this book haul and what makes it so massively big. I got all of these books from the Saddle Club series this month. So the Saddle Club is a series written by Bonnie Bryant. It's about these three girls, Stevie, Lisa and Carol, who are part of Pine Hollow Riding Club, and they become BFFs and they form the Saddle Club. And it's about their adventures, riding horses, being friends, dealing with life's ups and downs as like middle schoolers, solving like mysteries and things like that, like just kind of having fun and being friends and everything like that. You will probably, if you live in Australia, you will probably be familiar with the TV series which was adapted from these books. The Saddle Club was my childhood. I loved the Saddle Club so much, and I began collecting these books as a child, but I never got around to reading any of the series that I own. And since becoming like an adult and getting more into reading, I wanted to go back and start reading this series, collect it from the very beginning and read it, because I know that even though I'm an adult, this is more of a middle grade, young teen series. I'm still gonna love it because I love the TV series so much. So I found a seller on eBay who was selling old library copies of the books and jumped on it immediately, and I sort of didn't realize how many books I bought until it came time to check out, and then when the parcel actually arrived. But yeah, so I'm just going to quickly go through them, and I'm not going to read you the blurbs of all of them except for the first one, because I managed to get the first one, which is A Horse Crazy and Horse Shy. So glad I had the first one because now I can start reading them. Carol Hansen and Stevie Lake have been best friends ever since they met at Pine Hollow Stables. So when Lisa Atwood shows up for her first riding lesson dressed in fancy riding gear, acting chummy with the snobbiest girl in town, the girls aren't sure she'll fit in. But Lisa works hard, and Carol and Stevie can't help admiring her natural riding talent. Most importantly, the three girls share a special bond that make them fast friends: their love for horses. With the formation of the Saddle Club, the girls start making plans for the long-awaited mountain trail overnight camp. A tragic accident makes Carol lose the one thing she loved most in the world, and she swears to never ride again. So yeah, that's a little bit about what this series is in a nutshell, really. So hopefully I get around to, I feel like I'm going to read these over the summer and just like veg out and just go through them all. So this is actually a 2 books in 1, all of these editions that I've got. So yeah, that's probably what's making it harder to collect them, because I want this specific edition with this TV series cover on it. So yeah, so then I have Trail Mates and Dude Ranch, Starlight, Christmas and Seahorse, Racehorse and Fox Hunt, Horse Trouble and Ghost Rider, Bridle Path and Stable Manners, Ranch Hands and Autumn Trail, Horsetail and Riding Lesson, High Horse and Hay Fever, Stagecoach and Horse Trade, Gold Medal Horse and Cutting Horse, Rocking Horse and Horse Flies, English Horse and English Rider, Horse Thief and Schooling Horse. And then there is like another trilogy spin-off part of the Saddle Club series, but they're 3 separate books, and they're called The Inside Story. And I own Stevie's book, which I love because Stevie's my favorite character, and I've always wanted to get the other 3 books so that even if I never complete the actual Saddle Club series, I wanted to complete these ones so that I could read each girl's individual diary, which is essentially what they are, and I've never been able to find them on eBay. And I think the one time I could, it was one of the books and it was in a bundle with a lot of books that I already had, so I didn't really want to buy it. But I managed to find Carol and Lisa's Inside Story, which I'm very excited about. So glad that I've like completed this part of the series. I don't know if I'm ever going to like get every single book. I'm kind of at the point where I have a good chunk, I have a good portion of them. There's definitely a few more I know listed on eBay that I will eventually get. But like I'm probably going to have gaps in it, like a single 1 or 2 books every so often I'm not going to get. But I'm so glad I have all these. I'm feeling very nostalgic and I can't wait to read them, and I'm very, very excited. So moving on to the other few books I got this month that are a lot more interesting and important. The first one I was kindly sent from Hatchet, and I never requested this, but I'm so excited I have it. I wasn't really like following anything about this book, but I mean, I have it and I'm definitely going to give it a try. And that is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. This is his debut novel. And yeah, I've heard pretty good things about this so far. I think some of the reviews I've seen on Goodreads have been a little bit mixed, but a lot of people liked the book. I think the only thing I remember seeing was some people didn't really like the ending of it, and that was the only thing that sort of turned them off it a little bit. But anyway, let me read you the blurb. The Carls just appeared. Roaming through New York City at 3 a.m, 23-year-old April May stumbles across a giant sculpture. Delighted by its appearance and craftsmanship, like a 10-foot tall transformer wearing a suit of samurai armor, April and her best friend Andy make a video with it, which Andy uploads to YouTube. The next day, April wakes up to a viral video and a new life. News quickly spreads that there are Carls in dozens of cities around the world, and April, as their first documentarian, finds herself at the center of an intense international media spotlight. Seizing the opportunity to make her mark on the world, April now has to deal with the consequences her particular brand of fame has on her relationships, her safety, and her own identity. And all eyes are on April to figure out not just what the Carls are, but what they want from us. It sounds kind of weird and crazy, but I'm very excited. Then I got Losing the Field by Abby Kleins. This is the 4th book in the Field Party series. I mentioned this in my Netflix book tag. I've just finished reading it, so you will actually see more of it in a whole video that hopefully I'm about to film and hopefully will be up soon. This is following Tallulah and Nash. Nash had an accident over the summer and can't play football anymore, so he's very lost about what he wants to do with his life because football was his life. Tallulah lost a lot of weight over the summer, and so she comes back and she's treated like a very new person. People kind of think she's new, and she and Nash kind of reconnect, and they're sort of there for each other in this like new phase of their life. A lot of things happened, their relationship's tested. It was an interesting read, and I will talk more about it in my wrap-up. Then I got The Pythons, autobiography by the Pythons, who are obviously Monty Python, made up of Graham Chapman, John Cleese, Eric Idle, Michael Palin, Terry Gilliam, and Terry Jones. This is them writing about their life before Monty Python, so growing up, how they became friends with one another, how they connected and became Monty Python, and then the experience of being in Monty Python. It's really cool. I've just flipped through it, but I'm so excited to have this. They write each of their individual sections in each chapter. One thing I really love is there's a chapter in here called In Which They're Born. So each of them talk about, you know, their childhood, their family, and growing up and stuff like that. Now, in case you didn't know, Graham Chapman sadly died in like 89, I think it was. So he obviously can't write his part in this, but it shows just how dedicated they are to making sure that every detail is recorded in here. Editor's note. Due to his insistence on being inconveniently dead, Dr. Graham Chapman was unable, more than unwilling, to author this section of the book by himself. Filling the void are his brother Dr. John Chapman, his sister-in-law Pam Chapman, and his longtime partner David Sherlock. Which I'm very excited about. I recently watched a documentary series on Monty Python. It's called Monty Python Almost the Truth. And I think that covers pretty much what was in this book. The book came out before the documentary. But it was really great to see them talking about their life and how Monty Python came about, and I feel like this is what this book is going to be about. I'm very excited to read this. It's probably one of the few like autobiographies and non-fiction books that I'm really excited to read at the moment I get my hands on it. There are some, like most of the non-fiction that I own, I have not read yet, but I'm very excited for this. I really just want to get more Monty Python in my life, and I feel like I want to read this very, very, very soon because I'm currently in the middle of consuming a lot of their stuff. I'm in the middle of watching Flying Circus. I've just watched the documentary and the Holy Grail. I really want to go back and watch Life of Brian. So yeah, I'm just in a Monty Python orb at the moment, and I'm very excited for this. Finally, the last book I got is one that I also mentioned in my Netflix book tag, and that is Quarterly Invited by Zoe Sugg, and it is actually signed. Booktopia had signed copies available, which I cannot believe. I don't think we've ever had signed copies of YouTuber books available. If there are still signed copies available, I will link to it below. If it's not linked, they're not available. But I'm very excited for this book. I flipped through it already and given it a pretty good like gloss over. I don't know if you haven't seen, it's such a beautifully like laid out book. It's just so beautiful. So it goes through season by season talking about different seasonal events, whether it be like actual holidays like Halloween and Christmas and Easter, and then just like general things you can do during that season. So like barbecues in summer, walks in spring, like bonfire night in autumn and things like that. It's a really beautifully put together book. It's got a mix of DIYs and recipes and just general tips on how to decorate or how to host guests, and I'm very excited to try some of this stuff out for Christmas. And also Easter, there's some really cute Easter things in here I want to try next year. I don't really know what else to say. I love that I have it. It's such a beautifully designed book, and one that I'm definitely going to flip through during different seasons of the year, just to like maybe get inspiration or get ideas, or hopefully like maybe make some food or some decorations for different events. But yeah, it's nice. I like it. So that is it for my, what are we up to, October book haul. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books, what your thoughts are on them, especially the Saddle Club series. I want to know if people have read the books, because I know a lot of people in Australia love the TV series, but I don't know how many have actually read the books. So let me know, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have a wrap-up video coming up soon, hopefully within the next week. I say that as I'm filming it, but I don't know when I say that now, but like I'm kind of very unreliable when it comes to editing and uploading videos. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys soon with another one. Bye!